There was a while there where it was avert your eyes, Ravens Bengals on Thanksgiving night. Now, okay, because even though last night's game was a smothering, and it's entirely possible the Ravens do indeed smother the Bengals, it's still entertaining to watch the Ravens do what they do.
Didn't you feel like last night, Mike, that was probably the easiest or the kindest 28-6 route that you've seen? Like, it was 28-6, but let's think about it. It really could have been 40. I felt like they could have done whatever they wanted to do. Late in the game, it was more, and they mentioned it on the broadcast. They really were trying to get Derrick Henry over 100 yards. At one point, he got to like 99. Then he lost a couple of yards, and he had a big run. They were trying to manage the game. This was not a statement. They didn't feel like they needed to make a statement against the Miami Dolphins because, quite frankly, when Lamar Jackson plays against his hometown team, he always makes a statement. He always plays great against the Dolphins. But I think this was just a taste of what they can be, and it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep picking up steam as we move forward. They are a team. I mean, I'm not saying they're Kansas City where you got to watch out for them, like, oh, watch out for the Ravens. But I think when we look at your power rankings in about a month, the Ravens will make huge leaps up the PFT power rankings. They are very impressive when he's there.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch these stories of redemption that are baked into a season. When we have a narrative that we carried into the regular season that gets blown up, we're reminded of how long the season is. And there's so much of a build-up for week one, and they say we overreact. Well, no, we just react. That's all we have to react to. We can't react to a game to be played a month from now. We react to the games that were just played. But it is important to keep in mind it's a long season. Teams change. They get better, they get worse. They get worse, then they get better. And then they could get worse again. But I think this is exactly what the Ravens needed to get their full focus and attention, to live up to their potential. And now, hey, and they're fortunate that they're in a division where the Browns, to quote the great Juju Smith-Schuster, is the Browns, where the Bengals aren't anything close to what they were supposed to be, and where the Steelers are, as we're learning, a little fugazi. That 4-1 was not real. It was a mirage. It was facade. We found that out 2 weeks ago when they lost to the Bengals. We found it out on Sunday night when they got beat by 10 at home. And now the Colts come to town at 7-1, favored by 3. Maybe should be more. Steelers could go to bed Sunday night 4-4. Man, what a vibe that'll be. Steelers 4-4, Ravens 3-5. Here we go. Here we go. So, and you look at the rest of the AFC, Michael, I think only one team out of that division is going to the playoffs. I don't think that, that you're going to have a wild card team, not with Bills, Patriots. One of those teams is going to be a wild card. You've got Texans, Colts, and maybe the Jaguars. And you've got Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers. And so you got 5 serious contenders for 3 spots without even talking about the second-place team from the AFC North.
This is one of those years. I think last year, too, if I'm not mistaken, you needed 10. Is that right? Everybody, you needed 10 to get into the playoffs. 10-7 was the baseline. It's definitely headed in that direction again. You're not going to – anybody who gets in at 9-8 is going to be a division champion. But I don't think you're going to get in with 9 wins as a wild card. So I agree with you. It's obvious. I think, one team comes out of the AFC North because it's just too much competition. And the Ravens aren't the only team with an easy schedule. I mean, you look at the Bills and Patriots because of the division they play in. They got to play Miami and the Jets. And so both of them, their schedules are soft. The Patriots have a historically soft schedule, and they're already leading the division with the 6-2 record. So you could see them getting the 10 easily. That might be enough to win the division or at least to get into the playoffs. So in the AFC North, The path to the playoffs is just to win the division. That's the only path. I think everything else is closed.
Last year, the Denver Broncos were the 7th seed in the AFC with a 10-7 record. The Bengals were on the outside looking in at 9-8. In the NFC, the last team in was the Packers at 11-6. The Seahawks at 10-7 were denied. 10-7 did not get you into the NFC last year, although 10-7 won the division for the Rams. 10-7 did not get the Seahawks into the postseason whatsoever in 2024. So, this is only year 5 of the 17-game season, and I still struggle with that because we've seen 9-8 teams get in, and that one big exception is you could be the best team in a crap division and get in with a sub-500 record. But wild card, 10 is no guarantee. Even with 17 games, 10 is no guarantee. Let's hear a little from John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Ravens, not talking about honest mistakes on the injury report, but on the impact of back-to-back wins for his team.
We had 2 games that we needed to win in 4 days, and they were absolute must-wins, both of those 2 games. And for our guys to step up the way they did, and to step out the way they did, and to play the kind of football they did, with their backs to the wall, on the canvas, all right, and to get back up and do what they did is commendable. And it just means we're 2 games under 500. That's all it means. But we're 2 games under 500, right? We were 4 games under 500. So that's where we're at.
And now that I've updated you on my football team, allow me to do some shadow puppets. I mean, what was that lighting? What the hell? You see that shadow? It was spooky. I was expecting
Halloween,
to do the rabbit.
Mike.
Like, what's the easy one? The easy one that everyone does is the rabbit, right? We've all been there. We've all been there. And the bird, you do the bird, right? The rabbit and the bird, those are the only 2 that I'm even aware of. Are there other shadow puppets that you can do? The bird, you get your fingers together so the wings look right, and the rabbit. That was it. That's how we entertained ourselves in the days of 3 TV channels.
Exactly. How you entertain yourselves with you got to entertain yourself. There's no not a lot of channels to choose from. You don't have a lot going on, so whatever. You come up with rabbits and birds, and trying to figure out if that's the ghost. If is that the alter ego of John Harbaugh? Is that what is that going on behind him? Halloween, it is a little spooky thing going on with him.
Yeah. The shadow is a new thing on a coach's press conference. But, and also, not to quibble, and I deal with this all the time from viewers, because I say that it's 4 days apart, Sunday to Thursday. No, it's 5. It's 4 days apart. No, it's 5. It's 4 days apart. But it's not 2 games in 4 days. It's 2 games in 5 days. I will quibble with him on that just because I get quibbled with all the time. It's 2 games. They're 5 days apart. 5 days apart. No, they're 4 days apart because 4 days from Sunday is Thursday. It's amazing how many people want to fight with me on that. So anyway, short week football, tough to win. They got their 2 wins. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.